recently, in the past 24 hours, is obviously that Donald Trump has announced his candidacy for President of the United States in 2024, an announcement that was anticipated for the past 2 weeks at various points in his rallies. Trump was teasing that there was a big announcement coming up, and landing on this date. He mentioned that in his Ohio rally before the election for J.D. Vance. As we expected, Trump has officially announced his candidacy and has filed paperwork with the FEC in order to start the official process of running again. If we look like 6 months ago, the common take was, well, we don't know if Trump is going to run, but if Trump runs, then he's got the nomination. No one is going to be able to put the chance. A lot of people, that was their opinion around 6 months ago, but now, and especially recently, with the quite frankly disastrous midterm results for Donald Trump, all of his endorsements in key races: Pennsylvania Senate, Wisconsin governor, Michigan governor, Pennsylvania governor, Arizona Senate, and Nevada Senate. All of those candidates lost in purple states in a year that should have been, by historical standards, good for Republicans. So it's leaving some in the party to doubt whether Trump is actually the guy that should be nominating them, and obviously the biggest contender is Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, who had a very good night on election night, winning his race by around 7 more points than the polls had projected him to win, and other Republicans in Florida had better results than typical. So Trump gave a speech last night. Quite frankly, a boring speech. I watched almost all of it. It was he just went over a lot of things that he had done and a lot of complaints that he had with Joe Biden, and then officially announced his candidacy. It was a very low energy speech. Definitely not some of the pre-2020 election rally type energy that we were getting from him, and pretty bored audience that was packed inside Mar-a-Lago. Notably, no governors or members of Congress were present at this event. So, as I said, Ron DeSantis is certainly going to be a factor here. Very much expected to have presidential ambitions. And we're seeing Fox News, owned by Rupert Murdoch, and New York Post, and a few other sub media groups that he owns, has been going for DeSantis recently, dubbing him the future, as this article from NPR says. And it means that this is really the first time that a lot of people are mainstream attacking Trump for his poor performance during critical election years, and this might actually be the time where Trump's reign of terror over the Republican Party could end, and it could be time for the new blood. But we'll see. Some polls have been coming out recently after the election. A lot of support from Ron DeSantis, beating Trump in most polls that have been done after the election. In general, 2024, who do you want to be president? Context and the betting markets also have Ron DeSantis favored by pretty fair margin to be the nominee. So, big thing everyone's talking about, and it will be a long and brutal campaign of Trump both fighting Joe Biden and Democrats, and also his Republican challengers who may not want him to be the nominee again.